to Diva Live. I'm changing the name of the show because obviously the D and DNS is never joining us. We might see some ink later coming in here, but I hope everybody's having a good day. It seems like we got some crazy weather going on around the nation. A little cold here in Dallas, and it's cold everywhere else. And I saw some pictures of, I don't know if it was snow or ice in Florida, so it's getting a little crazy. It's also a super moon today, so I've got to remember after the show to go put my crystals out and get them charged and make some moon water. So kind of looking forward to remembering how to do that, because this will be the second time I've actually done it during a super moon. So those of you that know me know I've been into crystals just a little bit here, so it's kind of a little exciting. Anyway, we've had a little bit of a busy schedule with DNS. We have picked up another private client that we've been working on, so I'm learning a lot from that. We've now picked up 2 since the beginning of the year that are really going to put some education into me, so I'm kind of welcoming that. I went from learning about pendulums and crystals last year and the year before that this year I'm going to learn some new stuff, so we're looking forward to that. Tonight we've been teasing up that we're going to do something a little different. You know, we wrapped up talking to all the MPS department chairs, and we had fun doing that. I hope you guys got to learn all the different aspects and departments of the MPS. And if you haven't joined, I look forward to seeing you out there. Send a request or let me know if you want to join. I'll get you added if you can't find the group. But tonight, we're going to pick it back up with some fun. And we've got Rev Robyne Marie with us. And we're going to talk about some numerology here at the beginning. We've been kind of teasing back and forth. Those of you that are on the show or tune into the show regularly know in the chat room, Robin's always in there. We're always kind of tick, 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 going back and forth and laughing and giggling with Kim and Eric. So now we're going to talk about some numerology, which we talked about in the chat room. I guess it was a couple weeks ago. So, Robin, you still there? You ready to do this?
Yes, I am.
Did my camera go out?
Yeah, both of y'all did. If you could both restart your cameras, that'd be great.
Let's see. I'm trying to get mine.
Figures.
This is the loveliness of live TV. Why is mine not coming back on?
Yeah, mine's not either.
I thought about it. Well, Eric, can you still hear us?
Oh, you hear? I can hear y'all just fine. Here comes Robin.
Here comes Robin.
Here I am.
Here you come.
Better late than never.
I'm telling you, man, this Superman's got like some weird effect tonight.
I know.
How
It's
you
definitely
been today?
moving.
Has it been a good day for you?
Today was much better than yesterday.
I would have to agree with that.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, and look at the date, because the date says a lot about the influence that it has over the way the day goes.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes.
Explain that. Does it have something to do with the day, the month, or the year, or the combination thereof?
Well, it's the day itself, the number of the day, is the strongest influence that you're going to experience. That's going to give a very strong vibration. And of course, we look at the year overall. That's the big picture. So,
Interesting.
yeah, it's all the numbers around us.
You know, I've got one of those calendars that tells you, like, I know today's the 29th day of the year, y'all shut up. But anyway, it'll tell you throughout the year it's day such and such of 365. So I was thinking, and we have 336 days left in the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet that kind of backs it up and affects things too, doesn't it?
It can. I mean, you can play around with this in many different ways. You know, and I was going to tell you about numerology. It influences everything in our lives. And I actually live by it. And it's proven itself to me since I was a young teen when I started studying it. And, you know, seeing the proof, that's what I follow. So I've been able to change a lot of things in my life, being able to drive it in certain directions through numerology.
So you got started as a teenager. Was it something that you came across or something that somebody introduced you to?
A best friend of mine handed a book. He knew that I was into mysticism and all the different topics within this. And so the book was about numerology and astrology and tarot. It was about all three. And so they're all based off of numbers. They're all calculated. So, you know, within reason, of course, our psychic abilities are put into the reading the tarot cards. But there is also a science that goes along with that, which can be taught. And we're using numbers. So they all coincide with one another.
Very cool. It looks like we're going to have problems all night with the camera, guys, so you guys just bear with us as we're going back and forth. I think it has something to do with that numerology.
Yes. Yep, definitely the vibration. Now, today is the 29th, so that's a day of socializing.
Ah.
Also,
Yeah, I mean,
intense relationships with parents.
Interesting.
Particularly mother.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yesterday I had a scare as a mother, so I wonder if yesterday's numbers had something to do with that.
Well, it starts. It's not a clean line as far as where the cutoff is from midnight. Sometimes you start getting that vibration yesterday, and it pours into today.
Oh. Well, I didn't have anything scary bad happen today, thank God.
That's good. That's really good. Today was better. Yesterday was crazy.
Somewhere, but yeah. Just a few. So kind of tell us, we've heard about numerology. We know it deals with numbers. That's obvious. So kind of tell us, is there like a basic to get started to it? Is it something that's complicated to learn?
Yes, it's really not. If you get the basic definitions of each number, and the numbers go 1 through 9, and 0 having no meaning, that's kind of an empty page. So you can include that. The double numbers, you bring all of the double numbers down to a single number. So let's say you had 11. You would add them together to bring it to a single number. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. It's that easy.
So if you're looking at a birth date, are you adding them all the way across?
You do, and you're going to get 2 different vibrations. One is the day that you were actually born, and in your case, I'm going to pick on you tonight. This is fun, because anybody can do it. As I said, you don't have to have psychic abilities to add to this. I was looking at gematria. We'll get into that as well. Your birthday is the 18th. Mm-hmm. The 18th of the month of November. So Scorpion and Taurus, we have to look at astrology and all of that as well. All goes hand in hand. The 18th card in the tarot deck, you would look at that. So that defines you. Okay, that's the big picture. That's the strongest influence in your life, is the day that you actually landed here.
That's very, so is everything kind of determined from that point forward?
Yes, you chose that. You chose the day that you were coming here.
I couldn't get here fast enough.
Okay, well, there you go. My kids didn't feel the same way. They came weeks late.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
It's terrible. It's a curse.
I'm going to have to go back and think about that with my kiddos, because some of them had to be evicted.
There you go. You got to kick them out. But, that 18, we're going to take the 8 and the 1. We're going to add that together, and that's a 9.
And that's at the top of that number chart now.
Yes. Now, I'm going to explain. Now, this is very quickly, because we only have the hour. But basically, every single number has a vibration. If you think of yin and yang, positive, negative, darkness and light, there has to be that vibration for every number. Just as ourselves, we have good traits, and I hate to admit it, but we have some bad traits. Okay? We have challenges. We have other things that come very easily to us.
Gotcha.
And so the numbers work exactly the same way. So people will ask me, if I said to you, you come out as the 9, people usually respond with, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, the answer is yes. It's going to be, you're going to have positive and negative traits that come along with that. And that vibration is who you are. That's your personality. It's also the karmic reason that you're here, that gives you your purpose in life.
Oh, very interesting.
Yes. So I get a lot of people that say, I don't know what I'm doing here. Why am I in this life? Especially people that are suicidal, especially people that feel hopeless at times. And they don't feel a sense of purpose, or they lose their path in life. And this destiny number, the number of that we're actually born with that day, that is the strongest influence, and that tells us why we landed here on that particular day, and it's going to vibrate us in a certain path throughout life. Then we look at the whole number of the birthday. We add all of it, the month, the day, and the year.
So when you're adding the year, are you adding, like, for me, and you guys, I'm old, so shut it in the chat room. But for me, being born in 1970, am I adding the 1, the 9, the 7, and the 0, or am I just adding into prayer? Okay.
No, the whole thing. So yours would be 11 and 18 and 1970.
Okay.
Okay, so just look at them each as individual numbers, add it all out.
Okay.
And that comes to a 1. Now this is one's life's path. This is how you vibrate with the world around you. This is what the universe hands you.
Okay.
Okay? So you're going to experience a particular family. You're going to get into particular relationships. Sometimes we see patterns. Okay?
Oh, we set off the alarm.
Yeah, that was a nice effect. I hired him to come by at this hour. He's a little late. You can tell I live in the city, huh?
PEN spares no expense for its special effects.
I know. And it was red for Valentine's.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, where was I with this? So that is your life's path. That's your full birthday added together. So this is the influence. This is all the stuff you're going to have to deal with in life. And you say, how come this always happens to me? We all say it. I have it too.
Yeah.
And we see certain patterns. Okay, and it doesn't necessarily mean something bad. Why do these good things always happen? Why do I always find money on the ground? Certainly, I know it should be for all of us. But some people say things like that, you know, or how come somebody always walks up to me and tells me their life story? Okay, there's a lot of people that have that happen too.
Yeah.
Other people say, you know, I would like that to happen, but nobody ever talks to me. And this is all of that number that vibrates around you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like cause and effect. And that's the cause. And it's how you're going to react to it. Okay?
All right.
And you have to keep doing this through life until you get it. So we have to practice. So you have a whole lifetime to keep coming up against that wall, or even have positive things. These are your little rewards, karmic rewards. You know, maybe you did something in a past life, and here's your little treat that you find money on the ground every day.
You did something right here with your numbers.
Yes. Now, I want to address something, because you do have a lot of people in the chat room that just hung over from the last show, which was wonderful. Yeah, and they had great questions. And I wanted to address something associated with that. And now it went right out of my mind because I was looking at the chat room. I knew that was going to happen.
I know it happens to me all the time. I'm like trying to keep up with the questions, and it's like, okay, I got a question. I'll get to you in a minute. I'll get to you in a minute. You guys keep loading them up. We'll get to them.
Yeah. So I'll address it. I'm sorry, it went right out of my mind. But
it'll come back.
What's wonderful is when people come to me as couples, and I was going to do this for you tonight, is that we can see, again, patterns in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
If something is working, that's great. We want to keep that. And we want to understand what your vibration is and what his numerological vibration is. Mm-hmm. So if it's a good combination, you want to keep that.
And you can see why it would work based off of that.
Yes, and nothing's going to be perfect. So he's going to have negative traits, and you're going to have negative traits, and you see how they work together.
And we sometimes each other out.
That's just it. Sometimes people will be the absolute opposite in numbers. One person's a 9, and the other person is a 6. Okay, one's a very positive, glass is half full kind of person, and that 9 is the negative, strong-willed, and I'll tell you more about yourself afterwards. You can go to the negative side, okay? You're going to think the worst every time everything died already. So, and that's But you pull yourself back up to center, which is good, because I know you're not a negative person, but maybe for a moment your mind goes there.
No, I do. I'm
Yeah, I
smart.
don't like to assume. You know, and you'll learn as you go through life. As I said, you practice it, and you may notice, well, that's not exactly a trait I like about myself, so I have to stay more positive.
Well, and you learn, and that's part of the reason why, I mean, you know what your vibration is, so if you want to change it, you have to learn how to affect it.
That's the key. And that's what we were saying on the other show before this, was about that karmic balance, about reincarnation. You have this whole lifetime to practice something because you're meant to learn. This is a lesson. And in your next lifetime, you'll be on to another lesson.
Very nice.
And now I remembered what it was. Somebody asked about why would you choose a particular negative lifetime? Why would you choose a number in this case, since we're dealing with numerology? Why did you come in on the 18th? Because you needed to have that 9 vibration that was going to make you be a certain type of person and deal with something else, you know, deal with people around you in a certain way. You had to be put in a certain predicament and go through all of your stuff so you could learn. It doesn't always come in order. Okay, so we were saying, you know, all right, let's say you were a murderer in your last life. I tell everybody I was Lizzie Borden, okay, because I have a very challenging karma. You know, I was born on the 17th. It's very, very strange, and 8 is absolute hell. It's a lot of challenges. It's always that there's obstacles in your way.
Something. Yeah.
And I can have, you know, I have a wonderful life. I have very exciting, very glamorous lifestyle. And yet there's always been challenges, hurdles to get over for me to get to those wonderful things that I've had in my life. Now, if I was Lizzie Borden before, I'm having a better life now, obviously.
It's getting
With some challenges. But it doesn't always come in order. You could be exceptionally good in this life, and the next time you're a murderer.
Oh, it could totally flip.
Okay? Here's the point. And again, this is what the audience was asking before. We must experience everything. We must be each other. We have to be good. We have to be bad. We have to be murderers. We have to bring life. You'll come back as a doctor, and you'll be a gynecologist, and you'll bring babies into this world. When in another lifetime, not necessarily the last one, it could be the next one you're coming to, that you're going to kill people and take them out of this world. Okay, so it's the balance of it.
Plus and the minus. Yeah, like you said, it's kind of even.
Right. So what's really hard about studying numerology is rethinking how we were trained to think about things. Why would I want to, well, I hate to say this, but this is a lot of things that come up in readings that I do. People come to me and say, you know, I was raped. Or they'll say, you know, I was physically attacked. Or they have a mental illness or a physical illness. People in wheelchairs come to me. People that are deaf come to me. And they say, well, why would I choose to be in this predicament? And I say to them, this is freeing you up. You're actually moving up spiritually. You're learning great lessons from it. And if not in this lifetime, you karmically carry it over into another lifetime. And you get it. Okay? When we think of
understanding.
That's it. You can't possibly understand. We can intellectually understand what each other's feeling. Mm-hmm. But, you know, as the Native Americans say, walk a mile in my shoes.
Yep. And we are literally doing.
I will come back as a Sherry one day.
That'd be scary.
Okay? In a beautiful red shirt. But we all have to, and you'll be a medium. And you'll do readings for me.
I'll have stronger gifts. And I'll inform everybody about numerology. I need to pick it up.
It's a lot to digest. I tell everybody, please read. I have been studying since I was probably about 15 years old when my best friend Peter gave me a book, who was very troubled himself, going through a sexual identity change. And that came up in the last show, too. It was amazing. Because all these things we can change by changing the numbers in our life. And people say, well, I can't change my birthday.
No,
but then we get...
Base it on. That's
right. But people say, especially paranormal investigators, they'll take me to a house to do an investigation, and they'll say, this house just feels horrible. And I say, look at the address on the door. Okay? That gave a vibration to the property.
Interesting.
What day is it that we're there?
In the longitude as well.
That's another thing you can look at. You know, they've done that with Amityville, that they've looked at the location of that house where it's actually centered on the map. You know, so that gives the vibration too.
Well, and everything kind of goes back down to the center and the earth and where things shift and where they are in the hemisphere. I mean, there's just so much to kind of plug in.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
And it's all one.
Very interesting.
I told you to wear red tonight.
Where are my other numbers? I gotta know.
Okay, so and again, this is a whole chart that I could do. There's like 3-4 pages long. And if anybody's interested in doing a full chart, they can go to my website, and I have everything set up there. And it's a lot of fun. I have people do this for whole families. And that's why I had asked for the birthdays of your children as well. Because you're going to see why you have certain relationships with your kids.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So it's a lot. And so you're the 9 and the 1. And again, I'm working off the day that you were born, which is the 18th, equaling 9.
Uh-huh.
And we're using your full birthday, the 1. That's how people come to you. Okay, these are situations that you are challenged with, good, bad, or otherwise. Your 9 is an extreme number. Okay?
Does that match my astrology sign being extreme too?
That when people calculate your astrological chart, the numbers will come into that. It's going to come into a certain house. I'm not big on astrology, so I don't like quoting everything through that. But it does, as I said, coincide with what goes for numerology numbers as well. Okay? Same with tarot. And the numbers of the tarot deck will coincide with, you know, if you pick up the 18th card in the deck, you're going to see that these are your traits that go along with that.
Gotcha.
Okay? So the 9, extreme number. You possess power.
That's scary.
Yes, it is scary. And it can be absolutely wonderful. I'm going to give you an example of this, and it's extreme. And I use this because usually when I'm doing a reading, I have 15 minutes or a half an hour to talk to somebody. And of course, we're limited with time right now. So to give people an idea of who you could be and who you are, that 9 belonged to Mother Teresa.
Oh, wow.
Think of how she impacted the world.
Big time.
Think even in her death, we will always have that influence and that vibration that she put through from that number that she was, that 9, possessing power to turn a whole country and turn people and turn mindsets and turn religion and everything else over to her way of thinking, how she connected. She found something mystical and magical and religious that worked for her. And she needed to put that out into the universe.
Wow.
Okay? Your number is tied very strongly to what is mystical, mysticism, the dark side even. Okay? So interest in the paranormal No, you want to overcome it. As she did. She moved to India. She went right where there's lepers. She went to the most difficult, challenging, poor people that she could possibly be near. You're doing that through going into paranormal activity. You're facing things that could be demonic. You're facing people that are afraid. Everything's dark that you're going into.
Yep.
And you're bringing light. You see that? You have a very, very important number. The other person that had the 9 was Hitler.
Ooh. See, that just went from one extreme to the other. That just kind of shows what you were talking about earlier.
But think of how he moved everybody in the world.
True.
For a negative purpose.
True. So you've got one that pushed it positive and one that pushed it negative.
So it's up to you how you want to drive it.
Interesting.
Very dangerous number.
Yeah, it really is.
Wonderful. And I'm sorry for your kids because you do, you can blow that temper at any time because it's in there.
Well, and you know what's so funny is my kids have my temper when they lose it.
Uh-huh.
I guess that goes to that whole...
You don't have any 9s, but I can see how they would react to it.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they have their little vibrations, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Deegan. Okay, we're going to talk about your mate. I do couples readings, and I love to do numerology for them. Instead of just tarot, sometimes I do a combination. But in using the numerology, I can see how and why things work for you the way they do. The good things, the commonalities, the common traits that you both have that attract each other, and the absolute polar opposites in other ways, okay? When you are ballistic and you can't take anymore and you're just a big personality, you are the alpha number, okay? You are strength, you are power, and also courage, and no baloney. Okay? Yep. You need everything cut and dry. Nothing can be false. You must get right to the core of the matter.
It's either black or white. You see me say that all the time.
There's no gray. No shades of gray in your life. Okay?
No
Deegan
gray.
sits back. Tell me he doesn't do this. I went off. Bad timing. Here I am. So
Okay,
tell me
wait.
he doesn't just sit there and look at you.
Yep. And that's the exact stance. That's exactly it.
It's like, what? Because he is highly analytical. He has the 5. He was the easiest one to do. Oh, I went off again.
Dang it.
He was the easiest one to calculate because every single number around him was a 5.
Wow.
So he's very consistent.
Very.
Highly, highly analytical. He cannot take anything at face value, and you're kind of opposite in that way because you want to get right to the core, as I said. And he, even if you give him the exact answer,
He's still
and if it's written in blood, he's got to take it all apart.
Yep.
How and why does something work the way it does? He's seeking truth. He's on a different path from you.
Interesting.
Okay? Yes. Highly intelligent. He lives on another plane sometimes.
Yep.
Okay? Usually computers, architectural things of that nature, building, creating, all of that goes with his number. And again, it's to improve on everything. Why? Because he has the answers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very artistic. Very creative. And that's starting to kind of come together.
Yes, and same as you have a whole lifetime to develop this, so he's going to keep practicing it. So his purpose in life here is to really kind of dissect everything and look deeper into everything and not take things at face value, where maybe he did in a past life or in a future life.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to learn this experience now, how to look at everything. And he applies that logic to relationships as well. Just so if you say, I love you, yeah, that's nice to hear, but he's got to hear it more and more and more. And he has to understand why. Why do you like me?
That is so funny. Okay, so you guys better hush when he's gone, because that's the one thing when we first met, he's like, why do you love me? What do you love about me? And that is funny.
And he's always going to ask you that.
So I've just got to deal with it, whether it's black and white. I still got.
That's the way he is.
I still got to deal with that gray.
So it's helpful, when you come for a reading like this. I tell you, go home and practice this. Look at this a little bit differently. And you'll say, oh, he's not staring at me. You might think he's ignoring you. He's thoroughly dissecting every word that you said.
Yeah.
And he thinks you've lost it.
Yeah, I can sense
because he's much calmer.
Well,
he's already planned everything out.
Yeah, I tell people he's not like my polar opposite, but when I'm up here, he's down here.
It will seem it, yeah.
It's so even.
Because you're so to the extremes.
Yeah. That is so funny.
Yep. So I was looking at other things, looking at these vibrations, looking at the numbers. Every number has health that goes along with it, certain health traits.
Mm-hmm.
So you tend to get peculiar illnesses, things that cannot be diagnosed.
Yep.
So it could be something very simple, but, it's unusual. And, they'll look at 16 different things that they'll tell you have. So that's how that goes. Every number also has, and again, this goes with astrology, that certain characteristics within the body will let you know that these illnesses are happening. So again, you can become very melancholy. You can be negative, which could cause depression, but not to the point of being bipolar. Okay, I'm just talking about day-to-day things. And again, keep away from the negativity. Chaos comes your way as well. Chaotic situations, chaotic people will come into your life. Friends and lovers. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So
a lot of trauma.
Yes, and you will always have friends, and the paranormal world that you've chosen brings drama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You're in a perfect position helping the National Paranormal Society because you're keeping order. Okay? And you're teaching them more about unity. You're trying to pull it all together. All those chaotic people that are out there that we have to deal with. Yes, but you're the strong person that can do that can keep a hold of it. So you're in perfect position. You're also doing that in your family because you have 52 kids that you're watching over here.
God, I told you guys I was old.
I want to tell you about your Nathan. He's an 8. Okay, he and I are the same.
Yep.
So he has psychic abilities.
Oh, and see, that's so
everybody has psychic abilities.
I've got to tell him because he's kind of questioning this stuff. Oh, I don't think any of that's real, and here he's got abilities.
Yeah, so he can work on it and develop it if he chooses to. He's going to have a lot of challenges in his life as well. 8, as I said, is a very, very difficult karma. But if you can overcome it and you stick with it and you learn to discipline yourself and push through things, you will have great rewards. Okay? Zachary, he's a 2.
All right, you're going to have to repeat all that because I lost you for a minute.
Okay.
No, we lost you. Zachary's a 2. Now you're caught up.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't get to hear about my Nathan. Okay.
Listen to the archives.
Okay,
Zachary, I'll send you all of this just so you know. Zachary is a 2. Okay? With the 2, very sociable, okay, maybe very humorous, very childlike qualities, could be a little irresponsible, maybe he doesn't pick up his socks, okay?
I always thought it was just the ADHD, but okay.
But very, very intense relationship with parents, particularly mother.
Interesting.
Okay? So, and that can go either way, but it's very intense. So extreme love and extreme connection between the 2 of you, and it can also go the other way that you both want to run away. Okay?
Well, it's because none of my kids have ever had that with me. My kids and I are like...
Very close. So that's good. You know, and again, it's learning, practicing, and overcoming these things. Paisley.
My little diva.
I love that name. 3. She has
She's
the
a
number
3.
of Christ. She
Wow.
has, yes, so, you know, all of the religious, maybe, spirituality is going to be very strong for her. Changing religion is very common. Okay? So let's say you raise her in a particular religion. She may choose something quite different older on. She also, people of the cloth, people in the clergy have this number. So she may practice her faith very intensely.
Interesting.
Okay? She must become a teacher. She must be a teacher in whatever it is that she does, any profession, but she must train people and teach them. And she can do that religiously as well.
Interesting.
So that's a number of a rabbi, which is a teacher.
I got a powerful daughter coming up.
Yes. Yes. They're very different. They're very unique. Okay, so, you know, these are typically, you know, people that go to extremes. So let's say you're going to see somebody, you know, with a tattoo or a piercing or blue hair or something like that, because they're very outspoken about things, you know, and they're very intense with what they believe in, you know.
She's very much outspoken.
Mm-hmm.
Gray.
Yeah. Get the Clairol.
Oh. That's just that Zach and Paisley are dead on. Man, it cracks me up.
Yeah, with the 8. And there's a lot of traits that go in it. That's why I say do a full chart, because I can tell you a lot about them. Pages of who they are. It's very, very detailed. And that's really what turned me on to numerology. Because it's so detailed and so exact.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, this is like so cool. Why is your favorite number your favorite number? Well,
and sometimes we're drawn to that. Exactly. Or it might be a number that isn't us, but it's one that balances you.
Yep.
You know, so you're drawn to that because that is like just like certain foods, you know, to eat a certain food because that's what your system needs.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
If you're not liking where you live, you can move to a different address. Okay? You get weird phone calls on your phone number that you just got. Change the phone number. Okay? Add up all the numbers in your phone number and see what comes out.
Oh, I should do that because I just got a new number.
You can play with all the numbers around you.
You know what's funny? So let me throw this at you because I didn't tell you my address. Mm-hmm. My address is a 5.
Oh, really? Did you have that house before you met Deegan, or you both? Oh, okay.
I've been here 9 years.
Well, you're drawn to 5s, I think. I'm sure he feels at home there.
My dad picked out this house, which is what I find so interesting.
Uh-huh. What was his birthday?
My dad was 2/15. Oh my
15.
God.
So that was the 6.
6.
Oh. See, he was in perfect balance with you.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's all the feminine traits. Loving, nurturing, warm, fuzzy feeling. And you were the one that was extreme, that was coming in But you know, he could calm you down
Uh-huh.
just in words, just in one look.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
I know this because this will happen. And you, when he's kind of down and mushy and, you know, they're not motivated because he's the more calmer quality within that number, you're able to lift him up. You're the vivaciousness that comes in and pushes people.
Yep.
You know? So, colors go with these numbers. Yours, darling, is red.
Red.
All shades of red.
And my favorite color is pink.
Close enough.
Isn't that funny?
Mm-hmm. But you know, you're going to feel differently if you start wearing more red.
Interesting. And see, I don't wear it as much because it is so bold. And I feel like I stick out enough as it is.
No, you're lovely. The other colors you can wear are a gem tone blue, so a true blue, and pure white.
Mm-hmm. And I wear a lot of white. I wear a lot of black too.
Which after I wrote that down, I thought, that's red, white, and blue.
Yeah, it is. Woohoo, I'm all American.
But red, definitely your quality. We look at gems, okay? We look at vibrations through crystals, and yours is a ruby.
And you know what? I don't have a ruby. I need to get one.
Yes, so wear it close to your skin, and this is very therapeutic for you. Okay, wear it when you go on investigations. It's going to help you.
Now, I have my chakra pendant, and then the other thing I always have with me is my amethyst. I was going to die and fall out of this chair if you had said amethyst.
I love amethyst.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I do very well with them. Oh, I came back on and I shut myself off.
I know, mine's been just kind of back and forth.
So, yeah, so these are all the wonderful things that we can find out through it. And of course, there's different styles of numerology. I'm using the Chaldean, which comes from the Kabbalah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, people always ask me also, does this go against my religion? I'm Catholic, or I'm Baptist, or I'm this or that. How does this go against us? Or people that are Jewish come to me. This is based off of the ancient Chaldeans, or Chaldeans, however you would like to say it, from the Bible. These were biblical figures.
And there's probably a lot of strength behind that.
Yes, and this is actually, the Kabbalah is the book of mysticism. It's the Hebrew book of mysticism. And when you study Judeo practices, when you're studying the religion, they give you two books. One is the Pentateuch. That's the first 5 books of the Bible. Okay, so Christians believe in this as well. They also give them the Kabbalah to study. And when you go to a rabbi, the rabbi talks to you about things like this that come from the Kabbalah. And this is all about mysticism, how we connect with the universe.
Did you see what he just brought me?
Yes, I'm watching him.
Your fan club's a 3? Oh my God. We were talking about how you're a perfect 5. Not a 10, you're a 5.
For workers and
Shut up. Anyway.
why am I 5?
Why? See? If you would join the show more often.
See? He said why. He had to pull it apart. He couldn't just say okay.
Yeah, that's that analytical.
Yes. Very intelligent.
You're going to have to watch the archives.
I agree to that.
So did you look at colors for him too?
No, in fact, I just thought about that. I should have put his down.
Let me think.
I'll definitely send that to you.
Black, green.
Black is all he wears. That's his favorite.
Yeah. I wear a lot of that too, I'm told.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay,
slimming.
so we had a question, and I've seen it come up a couple of times. People want to know what a 4 is.
For a 4 is a very, very important number. And I'm curious, what date was that person born on? Were they asking about someone in particular?
Let's see. Let me get back up here. Beacon Light, come back in the chat room and talk to me.
I'm a 22. Okay.
Saw that one.
All right.
Saw just 4.
So 2 and 2 equals 4.
That's also
Okay.
me. That's also me too.
And you too. Okay.
Couple of
So
fours.
the 4, that's right, because I've looked into yours before. 4 is the number of a guardian angel.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Very difficult. The 4s and 8s, and I'm an 8 because I was born on the 17th. 4s and 8s attract each other, and they must coincide with each other. They must meet up in life time and time again. Look at the people that are in your family. Look at your circle of friends that you gravitate to. You'll find the 4 and 8 everywhere together because we both have very difficult karmas. In a previous lifetime, you have gone through this walk of life that perhaps you had addictions, most likely addictions. You have caused physical harm. You have made many mistakes. And so now you come back as the 4, and as a guardian angel, just think of, the characteristics that we put with that you're here to save people. You're here to teach them not to go through what you went through. Okay? So you're saving them from themselves many times. You'll be born into families that have addictive personalities. You'll be born into families that have anger issues or a lot of trauma and chaos. You will marry into relationships that have trouble and chaos and have addictions, and all of this gamut is going to come out. And this is so you can help them. You can save them. Now, people will say to me, oh, I married this absolute nutcase. There's always addictions, and, this so-and-so was an alcoholic or something else. I hear all these scenarios. And I say to them, what's important to know about this is that we do not always see it come to fruition, what we do to help others. That's not important. What is important is that they got the message. And they may not get it today, but they might wake up 10 years from now and say, oh my gosh,
I got it.
That's what Eric meant when he said that to me. Now I get it. And somewhere in the back of their mind, it's there. Okay? So we may not see these people ever again in our lives. We may divorce them. We may be away from family members that have these issues. It's not important that we get it. It's important that they got it. So we did our part and we move on. So karmically, we're moving up. I'm saying we, but people that are the number 4. They're moving up spiritually, okay? So you will have a karma that is clean because you did something wonderful in this lifetime.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
It is. It's a very important number to have. They usually become doctors, EMTs, nurses, work in social services, things like that.
So let me ask you this. If you find yourself in a relationship with somebody of the same number, a 9 and a 9, an 8 and an 8, a 4 and a 4, what's the rhyme and reason to that? One's going to have to, well, in my situation, one's going to have to.
In yours, I'm very curious. You've gone through other relationships.
Yes, and my ex was a 9.
Then, well, I kind of wish I said this before you even said that. 2 9s together, that's too much fire. That's too much red, okay? That is something that's never going to be resolved.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
You need to have someone in your life. It may not be your mate, but you need to have those other numbers to help you live through your karmic vibration that you need to learn in this lifetime. So you need chaotic situations. He had chaotic situations that came around him. So maybe it wasn't the two of you, but maybe his family was a little out there, okay? Or friends that he had, or, you know, the other relationships around him. And so karmically, that gave you your chaos.
Yep.
That you needed to have. Chaos is chaos I. See?
I have a different kind of chaos in my paranormal life.
Yes, you do.
Not in my personal life.
But you know, you always have to lead. And two leaders in a household like that, it's not good.
See, I would have tied it, because, you know, I've followed astronomy very well, because I tell people, look at the Scorpio, the dictionary.
Yes.
You know, and so it doesn't surprise me to be a 9, but it does surprise me because my ex was a Virgo, and a Virgo is supposed to balance out a Scorpio.
Right.
So now I'm looking at, okay, I've got to look at a whole bigger picture of how things come into play.
Exactly. That's why I don't follow only astrology.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it, but I find more detail in looking at the numerology part of it.
Which is why I told you I laughed, because you would never, ever, Tauruses are stubborn, just like Scorpios.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
like, how is it that the Scorpio and the Taurus get along so well?
Right. But not every Taurus is the same.
No, because I have a sibling that's a Taurus that I could just strangle most of the time. And he's an 8.
Right.
So this, see, now I'm going to have to go get a numerology book.
Yes.
I'll be like, you guys.
It's very interesting. And as I said, I do full charts and I do whole families, which is very nice to see, because you'll see why certain kids react to you a certain way. Some may have behavioral problems. Some you feel very close to, like from the day they were born. People will say, but this kid is special. You know, not that you love them any differently. It's
They're
just that one, you know, you have this connection with. It's unspoken. It's telepathic.
Wow. See, and you know what? Oh my God. See, now I'm going to have to go back to like all my siblings, because my big sister is a 5.
Yes. See,
Wow.
you'll see it repeat in family.
You guys are going to be seeing me post on Facebook. Oh my God, I found another 5. Oh my God, I found.
I saw that somebody put up that they were born on the 22nd, so it's very important that I address this. There are master numbers, and that's the 22nd and the 11th. Anything that doubles.
Okay.
Okay? So that means you've come to the dead end right here. You got it. Okay? You've got it, and you don't have to come back as many times. And I don't want to say how many more times, how many more lifetimes. Could be 1 or 2, could be another 100. But you're nearing the end. You're nearing nirvana. You're nearing heaven. You're mastering who you are supposed to be.
That's cool. That is cool. I'm trying to look and see if we've missed anything here. There's a question, are some numbers more likely to be only children?
No, you have that number throughout your life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not an age.
If you guys asked a question and we haven't gotten to it, throw it in the chat room. I'm trying to get to it before we have to close down. This is just like, you know, it's like when I found out about crystals in my pendulum.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like, whoosh. Amazon.com.
Uh-huh. Even the foods you eat, you can get all of that too. So you can change your diet. You know, if somebody's overweight, they have to change and go to a different type of food. You know, or if somebody's having a lot of health problems. I had a lot of health problems, extensive allergies and skin problems and everything else as a child. And I used to say, I don't like what we're eating. I just don't like it. But, you know, as a kid, you eat what's on your plate.
Yeah. Mom tells you clean your plate, you're cleaning that plate.
Right. And you had to be grateful for that. So I told them, I said, please take this beef and mail it to Africa.
Help somebody else.
I will put it in the envelope. Let's send it to the poor people because they really need some food. So I said that at 8 years old. I already knew that beef did not go well with me. Animal does not go well with me. Okay? I said, when I grow up, I'm not having any steak in my house. So, please don't do the math here, but since 1981, and I had my own home, I decided we were being pescatarians because this is all seafood. And that I can digest, and that I don't have allergies to. And you know what? My skin's like a baby in spite of my age. You know, it's amazing. And my asthma is less. I still have allergies, but I have maybe half the allergies I used to have.
Wow.
Okay, stomach problems went away. All of this by changing the diet associated with numerology, because they will tell you exactly what foods go with you.
See, now I'm going to have to look that up because before I had Paisley, I could tolerate steak and hamburger and all that. And now no, I am straight chicken and fish. And Dean can't stand anything seafood. So we do a lot of chicken, a lot of turkey.
Yeah, even poultry's good.
Very interesting.
It is. And that's what I tell everybody. You don't have to buy it. It's not like it has to be a religious thing. For me, it is almost, because I practice it every day. I look into things. And when I have a bad day, I look back and I say, oh, it was one of those days because of the number.
Interesting.
And see,
but you know what? And if you follow it, you can see, oh my gosh, I've got kind of a weird number coming up. You can kind of go into it with a different attitude too.
I've had shows on here say, would you like to come on to Penn? Would you like to do it on this particular date? Or they'll give me 2 or 3 dates, and I'll pick the one that isn't an 8. Because I have to stay away from that vibration. I told you the 8s always have obstacles. So I know if I come on a show on an 8 day, or the 17th, or the 26th, something's going to go wrong. Like this with the...
I think it's just the super moon. I don't know what's going
on.
It
is. The moon is affecting everything, really. 9, 10, 11, so the 2. See, it's a very sociable day.
An Angel's Mama in the chat room. If you want to know about a 9...
You're the 9.
Later, because I'm the 9. Okay.
You have to lead.
I'm going to entertain title. Where was that question? Because it wasn't about numerology, but I'm dying to find out what the heck this is. Okay. Can I ask a question that's not about numbers? I saw that picture of the Pope and those doves, and I'm wondering about that. What did I miss?
The doves?
The Pope and those doves.
The Pope and a couple of children released doves from a balcony. Almost instantaneously as the doves were released, a raven attacked and killed one of the doves. Just plucked it up.
Please don't tell me that.
Just plucked it out of midair. Because it wasn't like I hate to say this, it wasn't like a Texas-sized dove. It was like a dove, a very small, very thin dove.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But it was a crow or a raven that.
Oh, you're making me think of The Omen.
Yeah, that's. When did this happen? Anybody?
A couple of days ago, 5 days ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Does that?
I'll have to look up and take a look at that if it's on film.
And if I'm not mistaken, the dove that was attacked was the one that was actually released by the Pope, not the one released by the children.
Do we know what day that was?
I have no idea exactly.
See, now we're gonna have to.
That's not good.
Man.
I'll tell you, Italians have deep superstitions around birds, which is kind of funny since they named me Robin.
Aww.
And I'm all Italian, but they don't allow them on wedding cakes. They don't, a bird flies in the house, it's a sign of death. It's a very, very serious thing to us. Very deep superstition.
And
So for
It was
something
in
like that to
26.
happen around the
It
doves,
was the 26th.
especially with the Pope, that's very
Which is an 8.
significant.
it was on the 26th, Robin.
It was an 8.
It's an 8-day. See, obstacles, challenges. I always say it's a number from hell. It
Wow.
has good things too. You know, I don't want to
Yeah,
scare
but-
anybody out there if you have the same birth date, but very unusual things happen.
Well, that's unusual.
Yeah,
That is truly unusual.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let me know. That's very interesting. I'm glad. Thanks for that title. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's wow.
You know, see, these are things you can all play with at home, boys and girls. Look
Yeah.
up the Pope's birthday.
Oh. Okay. See now. I got-
Look up Obama's birthday. Look up all the politicians.
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
really all gonna be the little.
So, and I do that before I vote for somebody. I look at some of these traits around them.
They,
You can weigh it out. You know where they're coming from.
very interesting. Very, very, very. Okay, so we're at the end of the hour. We're gonna have to have you back on and talk some more about this. I'm gonna do some studying before the next
It's
time.
fun.
It's awesome. So, okay, so see, I'm starting to act like a blonde now. Okay, all right. Okay, I know y'all are gonna get me for the point. Where can everybody find you so they can do their own number reading?
Yes, it's Rev Robyne Marie, and Robin is Robyne.
And you can be found on Facebook too.
Yes,
guys.
you can find me on 90 different sites, including National Paranormal Society. You can find me everywhere, all of the paranormal sites, all the social sites. If I've missed any, please let me know.
And you know what? She's always on pen. Just like Kim said, she is
Yes.
like the family here.
I
We have
love
our small
these
little group,
people here.
but she's family here. So
I
you
love-
guys, if you can't find her, tune into one of the shows. You can find her in the chat.
Yes, I really
Yes, all the
cherish
cool
all of your
kids hang out.
friendships.
That's so great. We have a great time on pen.
Yes, because we'll have to go into gematria next time and talk about your name and all of that, because every letter in the alphabet has a number that goes with it.
You know what? I'm going to get ahead on that one.
Yeah, that's an
Start
interesting
counting
one too.
numbers. That is so cool. Well, we'll definitely have you on again. It's been a great show. I've had so much
Thank
fun.
you.
It like flew by. I can't believe it's already been an hour.
I know.
All right, so just a reminder to everybody, you can find her all over the place. If you have a hard time remembering that, you can message me. I'll put a post up on the DNS page so you guys can find her. Those of you that have crystals need to go and get them and charge them. I think I'm actually going to make some moon water tonight, too. I haven't done that yet. I need to do that. So, I'm going to say officially thank you for being on the show. I had a great time. It's explained a lot for me. It's made my day much better.
Good, good. You're a great person.
Aw, thank you. I try. I try, even though I know I'm a very strong personality.
Do good things with it.
I'm trying. I'm trying to stay good. I'm trying not to have that little mark. Trying to keep that curl to that side.
Think Mother Teresa, okay? There you go. There's your halo.
There we go. Yeah, I see the horns holding it up. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Robin. I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Next week on the show, we are going to have author Chad Stambaugh of the Paranormal Dictionary. So you guys, if there's a certain word you want to find out the meaning of, if there's one you want to talk about, we are going to talk about it. So we'll see you next Wednesday night. Same bat channel, same bat time. Good night.